If you enjoy just a little bit of NSFW content with your plastic crack addiction, if you thrive off of others' pain while rolling dice, then this video might just be for you. I'm going to build, convert, and paint a Slaanesh Land Raider suitable for use in an Emperor's Children army or a custom Slaanesh warband in the Chaos Space Marines Codex like I play. I'm going to break this video into 3 parts. We have the build and conversion, pretty mild conversions, definitely beginner-friendly ones. 2, we're going to paint it, but it's got to be time efficient, look cool, and be suitable for beginners. And 3, as the true favourers of Slaanesh that we are, we're going to have a good old-fashioned circle jerk. If you enjoy little bits of NSFW content or tongue-in-cheek humour in your Warhammer hobby, particularly if you lean into that side of the Slaanesh aesthetic, then you really will want to wait till the end to see what I've got in store. Let's just say there's a little surprise inside the Land Raider. Surprise! Anyway, we don't have any more time to waste, so let's get into it. So I assembled the Land Raider pretty much stock standard out the box, ready to make a few alterations. The first point of call is to remove any sign of the Imperium. So we want to get rid of the Crux Terminatus off both sides, get rid of any Aquilas, skulls by themselves can stay, that's fine. And you definitely need to use a super sharp knife for this.
Hours later.
Then I got a few bits out from my bits box to add a little bit more Slaanesh flavour, including a 3D printed bit that, well, this is the little NSFW bit I was talking about. I found where I wanted them, sanded down these resin bits and glued them into place permanently. Oh yeah, and here's that little bit that I was talking about. Just kidding, you have to wait to the end. Alright, we're getting down to business now. My main colours are Abaddon Black, Screamer Pink, which is the mid-tone, and then Pink Horror for some highlights. Let's pretend this is a dry brush. We want to dab it in the water, get rid of most of the moisture, and then put it in the paint and also wick off a bit of the excess paint as well. And we're just going to stab or stipple all over, well not all over, over like 80% of the miniature, leaving some black particularly around edges and in shadow areas to represent paint chips. Mate. I just realised I did that whole first step of the Pink Horror with the wrong instrument, the wrong tool. This is what we're meant to be using. A frickin' dry brush or makeup brush. I knew that it wasn't quite looking the way I wanted it to and the way I was expecting it to. Then I looked back at my old video of me painting my Chaos Rhino and lo and behold, I'm going at it. Stippling, like with a stippling motion, just whacking it with makeup brushes. So that explains a whole lot. Definitely haven't come out as smooth as I would have liked. Like using the makeup brush and the stippling motion, it really applies a finer layer of paint and lets you build up gradients gradually, whereas this is kind of come on hot and heavy in a lot of the areas and it's got full opacity. I can go back in with a 50-50 mix of Pink Horror and a black paint to fix this up a bit and blend some of it together, which I will do anyway, so it should all be good. So yeah, as I said, we're going to take the moisture out of the dry brush and then the excess paint as well from the dry brush and then stipple over. You can see I'm using a mixture of Abaddon Black and Screamer Pink, so we're going between the pink and the black parts to help smooth out the rough sponging that I did by accident before. Now I'm going a 50-50 mix between Screamer Pink and Pink Horror, and I'm going to put this highlight in the middle of some of the Screamer Pink panels. So we're picking out smaller and smaller amounts each time as we go up in color. I'm not doing true volumetric highlighting. If you wanted it to be like truly photorealistic, you'd do it a bit differently, going towards the edges and the top half of all the armor panels, but this still looks pretty cool. Now, using German Grey, which is a dark grey, I am actually using a sponge intentionally here. We're going over some of the black parts and particularly the edges of the black panels to kind of edge highlight them, make them look cool as well as battle damaged. And you know how I said we weren't really doing volumetric highlighting before? We're going back in with pure Pink Horror and sponging around the edges and the sharp points on the pink. So we kind of are in a way, it's just a lot lazier and easier way of doing it. Also doing some battle damage with brush, which I've never really done before, and it was a bit meh, but you know, we never get better if we don't try things. Then as we go to the metallics, I'm taking the easy way out yet again, and I'm dry brushing on dark chainmail, which is quite similar to lead belcher. I find dry brushing on metallics a lot easier and gets a nicer application. Sometimes they can be tricky to work with. This doesn't take much precision, you can just go side to side, up and down. Something else I've been trying that's new, these Rosemary & Co Series 301 brushes. They're synthetic, but they have, I don't know, just really great properties, and I'm loving them so far. Next step in the detail and weathering process, we're going to chuck on some decals. So I have these Slaanesh decals. I'm going to use one of the Emperor's Children specific ones. If you want to know how I do this in more detail, I did a video on this not that long ago, so you should go check it out. Oh, hey. While I've got you quickly, I just wanted to talk to you for 1 minute about an amazing wargaming product that I think you guys really need to know about. Tree of Tales is a Swedish company who design and manufacture a range of tabletop wargaming accessories specifically designed for Warhammer 40k and Age of Sigmar. So if you want to check them and their amazing products out, including their signature battle box or token sets, then please use the link in the video description to shop, and that way you'll save 10% off all their prices and you'll also support the channel. I really do think applying weathering to your decals is super crucial if you want to make your model look realistic or grimdark. Anyway, the next step was to go over with a lighter silver and dry brush, just sort of the upwards facing areas of all the metallic parts we did previously. And then I went over with brown and silver sponging over a lot of the model to simulate deeper chipping and battle damage. Since the bulk of the model is pink and black armor and metallic parts, I decided to do these details off camera, including these lenses and fluoro glowing grills and lights. Alright, before I lose my voice, let's show off the little secret that's hiding inside. Go on, judge me, but don't tell me this isn't at all Slaanesh. So, there you have it. There is a Land Raider that is suitable for the good Lord of Excess. I am quite happy with how it turned out, even though I did make quite a big mistake in the first step. Covered it okay. I think I could do a little bit more with the highlights and blending in. I could bring up them a little bit higher in certain select spots and blend in the colors together a little bit more, but this stuff is easy enough to come back in afterwards and do. Sure, doing the battle damage step should be last, but you can quite easily come in with the 50-50 mix between two colors, potentially watering it down a bit more so it's more translucent, and then stippling on with a brush, perhaps something a bit smaller, just between the transitions, and this can help to smooth it out. But I kind of like the blotchy look with a little bit more contrast between the colors, but you might choose to do this differently. That's totally up to you. I hope you guys have enjoyed this one and has inspired you to make your own Emperor's Children or Slaanesh Land Raider. I sure as hell have had a lot of fun making it, and I cannot wait to play this on the tabletop. Now, I know I did skim through a lot of the painting process, especially towards the end with the details and the finishing touches. If there are any parts or particular techniques that you'd like me to cover in more depth, please let me know in the comments down below and I'll cover it in a short or one of my upcoming long form videos. Constructive criticism, any criticism to be honest, is always welcomed. I am still only, of course, a beginnerish level painter, so my work isn't going to be the best out there. If you're expecting to see the most beautifully painted miniatures, then you're not on the right channel, but hopefully you are seeing some sort of a progression in my painting, and some of my fellow beginners and total newcomers might feel a little bit inspired by some of my work. As always, don't forget to give this video some love if you've enjoyed it. Comments really do go a long way, and I'll always reply to them where possible. Then also subscribe and ding the bell to help me on my way towards 1,000 subscribers by March. Anyway, that's enough from me. Don't let the loyalists corrupt you, and may your soul shatter las cannons and your dark packs always strike true.